Okay, hey everybody. Welcome back. Ultimo Gallos here. We got the Fairchild, and we got an idea for a little video here. And boy, my ears are poking out with this mask on. I look like Dumbo almost. But the idea is our first indie show. I'm going to do mine real quick, because my actual first one, I was 6 months old. So I don't remember anything about it. You know, my grandparents took me. My parents dropped me off at their house. Hey, we're going out for the night, watch grandkid. Always the baby grandkid. I was one of 17. So, of course, I got spoiled. I got to go to wrestling. First one I remember, I was about 8. We went to the King's Inn Motor Lodge in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Tiny Frazier, Uncle Elmer, if you know what I'm talking about, ran a fed there. This is probably like 80, it's right before he went to WWF, if I remember right. Good show. Nothing really spectacular happened on it. But you were telling me earlier your first indie show story, and this is a great one. So go on, sir.
Yes. I was in kindergarten. There's not much I can say about this indie show I remember, except I saw a guy get hit with a trash can. I saw some people mess up one of the vendors that were handing out popcorn. They end up the whole popcorn.
Oh, nice.
The thing that I remember the most about it, though, because this was my first indie show, and I was like all into it. Like I was running around. I was like really into it. So I was paying attention, but I wasn't paying attention.
You're like the kids we see at shows now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why it's so fun to see this, because
yes.
it's like, man, that's what I was
doing. That was
me.
Except I would be flipping off the wrestlers and cussing them out, but I was the bad little kid.
But this older man, he had like one of those. He had a Stan Hansen look to him.
Oh, the handlebar. Yeah.
Had even the hairdo, like bald up top, but had this just silver hair and everything, but they're having this killer match, this guy and this young punk kid. And it's supposed to be the old buck versus the new buck. And they're having this match, and at some point in the match, the young buck starts pulling the heel tactic, starts healing on the old man, and everybody's just hating on the young kid and everything. And the old man's just taking a beating. It turns into Terry Funk versus Raven.
Oh shit!
And
that's a good example, man.
Because the next thing you know, this kid pops up, or this old man pops up from being outside, ran him into the turnbuckle post, and just crimson mass down his face.
I miss that.
He is pouring.
I miss it, man.
And I had not seen that before.
Did you freak out?
And I was like, Dad, Dad, is he? Do we need to call 911? Do we need to? I'm free, because I'm thinking this guy's like really bleeding. Like I've only seen TV like stuff that my dad let me see. And
I'm sorry.
This guy's bleeding, and they get back in the ring. They're still fighting, and finally the old man ends the match with a pile driver, which I had not seen live before.
Oh,
when
wow.
I saw that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Pile driver to this kid on a chair.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
And I want to point out, we grew up in basically Mid-South Memphis territory. Pile drivers were death. Even then, because this was when you were 5, that was probably
that
2000.
kid laid there for like a whole minute afterwards, and the old man cut a promo.
Yeah.
But I was literally asking my dad, I was like, Dad, he dropped him on a chair and he's not bleeding, but the old man is and I was asking my dad, I was like, how is he bleeding so much? And my dad looked at me and he was like, his skin's a bit older, it's just a bit easier to bust open.
Hey,
and that
good one on, I love you, Dad, personally, but good one on Marty, and a good explanation without breaking kayfabe. Yeah. I love it.
He explained it to me, and I accepted it. And it was about 2-3 years later, I came across that old tape with Wrestling's Greatest Secrets Revealed. It shows the blade.
The Stunt Granny?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I love those videos.
I actually watched that live when that aired on TV.
He's cutting this promo, though, this old man, and he's standing in the ring. He's still bleeding. He's still sweating. He's cutting a promo. He's hyping up the crowd.
Of course.
And everything. And he's like, and this young punk bastard gonna come out here and think that he knows all the tricks, that he knows all the this, that all that I'm the saltiest damn dog in the yard, blah, blah, blah. And I just remember that. I'm the saltiest dog in the yard.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Dude's pouring blood and everything, and I just got hyped into it. I'm like, yeah, he's sweating and everything, but with the rag, he's wiped it off. He looks okay, it's still dripping, but it's okay.
Yeah.
He beat that guy down. He's getting toted off. He can't barely walk out here. His neck looks all pummeled.
Now, were your brothers with you?
Yeah.
How did they react? Because you got an older brother and a younger brother.
Man, that's the thing. I was so into it, I wasn't even paying attention.
Okay, I was just curious because
they were probably like me though.
I was figuring your older brother's like, oh, freaking out, and your younger brother's like, this is
probably
pretty cool.
Like me though.
Yeah. I was figuring Matt, your youngest, be like, this is pretty cool. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's like the only thing I really remember out of any, because that was the longest match.
Yeah.
It wasn't the last match, but it was the longest match, and it was just. There was a story there.
Right.
Even as a kid, I could get like, here's an old man getting beat up by this young punk kid.
Right.
But then the old man got the win in the end, like, you know, which was really cool.
That was like my first indie show I went to. I mentioned the King's End. The only thing I really remember from it, besides Uncle Elmer getting out there and doing a horrible tag match, because even by then he couldn't really do singles, was it's in a bar. Well, you know, if they have a bar, they use a low ring. These guys didn't use, they used a standard height ring. There's a ceiling fan above the ring. This is one of them old ceiling fans with the wood blades. So that tells you how long ago this shit was.
Yeah.
Guy grabs, I can't remember the guy's name anymore, grabs, it was like Rocket Power or something like this. There was the other guy. Goes for a suplex. When he gets him fully up, he's, you know, hanging vertical suplex. He starts going back. Guy's up, back of his legs, hits that fan blade and breaks off, and it flies out into the crowd. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. But to top that off, when the show's over, of course, it's in a bar. The wrestlers are at the bar drinking, and all the kids, oh, I want your autograph. This kid, little redneck kid, of course, comes walking up to the bar with the fan blade in his hands. He's got a pocket knife. Will you carve your name in this? He got all these wrestlers to carve their names in his blade.
That is so cool.
I would love, if anybody out there watching this from Pascagoula and they were at the King's End in 1983, you know where that fan blade is? Please let me know. I'd love to find out where that is. Because that's a neat piece of merch.
Yeah.
You know, that was inventive of that kid, you know, pulling out the, it's redneck kid. You're going to have a pocket. I mean, hell, I carried a pocket knife for years, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So what would be like your first indie show you went to after you were grown and really, you know, I'm trying to think of the way to put this without pissing people off. You knew some of the insides and outs of the business. You know what I'm saying? I hate the term smart fan. I hate that term.
My second indie show I went to, because for a long while, there wasn't many that we were willing to go to, or that my dad was willing to like drive to.
I don't blame you, because the one place I know was running regularly was McGee, and that's a little bit of a drive, and then other reasons.
So I didn't go to my next show. So I was like 5 then. I was in kindergarten. I didn't go to my next one until BIW opened up.
Oh shit, dude!
2000 and what was it? 14?
2000. The first show here was 2013.
13.
Was that the Honky Kong show?
And the what?
The Honky Kong show. Honky Kong, the big white guy dressed up as Donkey Kong going.
Yes.
Okay, this show was amazing. Wasn't hardly nobody there, but an amazing. I remember seeing Matthew there. Now I think I remember seeing him with a sign.
Yeah.
And his glove, his Mr. Sacco.
And we went, and I had a blast. You know, I will admit I was one of those teenagers that, you know, I was there kind of taking the piss out of it.
Oh, of course, dude, of course.
I was yelling ridiculous things from the front row, you know, just being a...
Do you remember us getting Frankie Thomas and his opponent to hug it out in the middle of the ring?
Yes.
They were arguing, we started chanting, hug it out, and they were like, yeah, fuck it. Just Or when... I don't remember the woman's name. It was a Hispanic woman that was kind of a Rubenesque girl. And she's facing Paige Turner. And she kept on throwing Paige Turner into the turnbuckles. And I yelled out, nobody puts baby in the corner. And the entire crowd starts dying laughing. Kobe was there. Did you know Kobe was there?
I did not.
Yeah. Me and Kobe were on the far side of the ring.
But yeah, like, I just remember seeing those matches. The next one I saw... It was Gregory James was facing somebody.
Was it the three?
Bardell Walker.
Okay, was it solo, or was it the 6-man tag where it was Vordell and the Washington Bullets versus Gregory Jeremiah and the other guy?
It was Vordell and Gregory. He had Jeremiah with him, which I still to this day, that was my favorite pairing in BIW was Gregory James and Jeremiah.
Yeah, and there was a third guy, and I never can remember his name. I always want to call him Lodi, but it's not Lodi. I actually just found that 6-man match the other day.
Nice.
See, I thought for some reason, because I remember seeing your brother and your father at a couple of the XOW shows here in town. I remember seeing both of them there, and I assumed you were there, but I wasn't sure, you know.
There was, there was a big gap there for me in between going to shows, and of course, I've always loved indie shows.
Oh yeah.
If I could have gone to them more often, because I'd always try to go, and it, never would pan out for me.
Right.
But, they're absolutely a blast. 3 hours flies by on that.
Oh, yeah.
So much infinitely faster than what it does on TV. 3 hours on television takes like a day.
Well, perfect example. We got to this last BIW show. We got there early because he was on ring crew. I was setting up chairs. We were helping out. The 2 or 3 hours before the show started felt longer than the actual show.
Yeah.
And we were busy both ways, you know.
Yeah.
But it felt long. And talk about that. How did you? That's the first time you got to help with the ring. Did you have a good experience?
I really did. I really enjoyed the people I was working and helping.
Oh yeah.
With, you know, it was
DJ and them
very
were good
crew.
guys. Yeah. James and all them.
We had great conversations. We just had some good old road stories. We all could, you know, just tell.
Yeah.
Some of us sharing the experience of, you know, like why we're there setting up the ring, what we wanted to get out of. Some of us, we just want to set it up so we can run around and play in it for a few minutes, you know.
Which is all. Did you get a chance to do that?
I did not do that. Actually, I didn't really feel comfortable, really.
I understand.
Trying to run up and down on those ropes, you know.
It's a very unusual experience. Once you get there, it does not bounce as much as you would think it would, but it's not as stiff as you would think it is.
But that was a great experience that I'd never done before, and I got to do. Hopefully, I mean, it's one I definitely do again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's not something.
Come
I
January, Josh is going to need ring crew again, and he likes you, so boom, you're on it. He won't let me do ring crew. Well, he knows I got blown out knees. My shoulders ain't real good, so I do chairs, and my OCD works perfect with chairs.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. That's like James was there. He won't let James do ring because he's got a blown out back, which, hey. But I tell you what, man, we're going to cut this one here, but check out the Fairchild. Look for some BIW footage. Just have some fun. That's the show we were just talking about. He is on that. He is on the commentary. Well, Kobe Quarters Rutland. I'll pop up every once in a while. And, you know, come back. We'll have some more of these sometime soon.
Yes, yeah.